to wait a few seconds until all my social media comes on board. Just checking my Facebook page to make sure it's all up and running there. It looks like it is. Let's check the volume. Yeah, so the volume's okay there. It's always a bit of delay. There's always a delay in these things because I don't know whether it's a swear button or something like they have on television. You know, if they do live television, there's always a delay just in case somebody says a bad word so they can blip it out or stop the telecast or whatever. So that's I think that's why it is. I'm not quite sure. Might just be my internet, who knows. Apologies, I'm a couple of minutes late this morning. I haven't I've been busy this morning finishing my my Funfold class for February as we're headed off on our cruise in just over a week. Is it just over a week? It sounds too far. Just under 2 weeks anyway, 10 days or so. So yeah, I'm actually getting ready for that. So I thought I would try and get that class done. So I've done it, and here it is. Look, done. There we are, 38 kits there, ready to go. I'm going to post them next week, and I'll put the put together the PDF and the videos as well. So if you're a Funfold class lady or you've ordered one for February, there it is. It's all ready to go. So that's people who have ordered and paid so far. You can still jump in on February, of course, but she says moving away from the thing, you probably can't hear me. You can still sign up for February if you would like, but I can't promise to get the kit before we go. So it will be like mid-February before you get your kit if you sign up now. I know I have the wrong heading in my live here, and there's not much I can do about it at the moment, unfortunately, so I'll change that later. So everyone who thinks we're still doing 2 days ago video, we're not. We're doing a brand new one today. Final reminder, I don't think I'll harp on about this much longer, that January is my birthday month and you will get the presents, free shipping on all orders over $100 right through to the 31st of January. You have to send me the order and the balance of the funds so I can actually order it for you online. That's the only way, because this is a discount from me, not from Stamping Up, so I actually have to pay that postage amount when I pop the order in for you. So just another thing to think about. I know I'm a wee bit off straight there. Let's move my glass mat over a bit so I'm in the middle there. Anyway, so yeah, for the month of January, free shipping over $100. If you let me know what you'd like me to order for you, I will pop it through and pay the postage. So there you go. That's for my birthday month. Okay, so obviously we've got SaleABration and the new catalogue out at the moment. So this time the card we're going to make together today uses the Flight Airy Designer Series paper from the SaleABration freebie. So you can actually get this paper, which is gorgeous, 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 free with a $90 order. So if you like the idea of spending $90, pop it up to $100, you can get this paper for free. And if you put the order in through me before the 31st, you can get your postage free as well. I can't be fairer than that. This is the little card I have made with the Flight and Airy. These two little guys down here, I spent some time fussy cutting, so I'm trying to use all my little fussy cuts up. So I pop those two little birds in there, and if you open the door, there's another little bird in there as well. So I'm using up all the birds that I fussy cut the other day out in the sun. Yeah, they call it a dual pop-up card. So I don't know, I suppose the jewel being the fact that both doors open up, or maybe the fact that it opens up like that. I'm not quite sure what the jewel part of it is. I have to thank Kayla Renee up in Devonport for popping her version up on her Facebook page very, very recently. And I just saw it and had to give it a go. And I thought with the little birds there, it would be wonderful. I think this card may go to someone for a very special birthday that's coming up as well. Okay, so let's get making. It looks really complicated, and a couple of the ladies said to me on my post on my Facebook page that they thought it was too complicated for them. And there is probably one complicated part, but I'm hopefully that I'm going to make it as easy for you as I possibly can. what you actually need for this one is, she says, having already lost a piece. Where is the other piece? Anyway, okay, you need your normal sized card base. Well, my normal sized card base, basically a 5.5 by 8 1/4. That's the card base you need. So it's nothing very difficult there. Then you need for those inside doors, you need 2 pieces of cardstock. So these would be all your base colour cardstock. So in this case, it's going to be boho blue. Your inside doors, and they are 2 inches by 3 1/4 inches each. I will do the metric conversions if you need them, and I'll pop them up later. So the inside doors are 2 inches by 3 1/4. So that's all you need. The magic happens with these 2 pieces here. So these 2 pieces here I've called the mechanism. The mechanism, okay? That's basically all they do. They make the mechanics. It's 2 pieces of your cardstock, your card base cardstock, and you cut them to 1.5 inches by 4 7/8 inches. Okay, so 2 of them, 1.5 by 4 7/8. And from then on, you just need to remember 2 measurements. 3/4 of an inch, you score it down the middle at 3/4 of an inch. So basically just down the middle, you score it. So with your scoring blade. And then 1.5 inches down from each corner. So 1.5 inches there, 1.5 inches there, you score diagonally. We'll do it together in a minute, so don't get too phased. So you're scoring. So you're making sort of like a windmill out of scores. Score, and then a score down the middle as well. So you need to do that to both mechanisms, okay? Then there is a bit of cutting and a bit of fiddling, and that's where it gets, you're going to have to watch me do it to do that. So that's basically those 5 pieces of cardstock makes the card base for this card. Then there are layers, and I'll pop this, as I say, pop this up in the description or the comments on my Facebook page with the layers that you need to make my particular card. So really, once you've got the card base, you can decorate this thing as much or as little as you want. Okay, so as I say, my card base is going to be boho blue. So as mentioned, I have my card base, 8 1/4 by 5.5. Anyone asks, watching from the States, it's 8 1/4 because that's the width of our cardstock. I don't know, I think your cardstock's 8.5 wide. Ours is only 8 1/4 wide. So that's that's why you get the 1/8 of an inch when I sort of score my card bases. Okay, so that's our card base. Then we have our 2 doors. Yep, we have our 2 doors. And again, they're in boho blue. And then we have our 2 pieces of cardstock for our mechanism. So let's do our mechanisms first. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing with that boho blue in this light. I've got the windows partially closed because the sunshine's coming in at the moment, which I'm not going to argue about because we had such a lot of rain yesterday. Not as much as some, but quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to get our trimmer. So as we mentioned with the little instructions that I said before, we're basically going to score it straight down the middle and then 1.5 inches down each side to form that little windmill. That's what we need to do. So let me just do that. Hopefully you can sort of see what I'm doing. I'll move some of these blocks. I keep all my blocks, well, I throw all my blocks up the top there. It just means that I can't push things up as far as I'd like. So I'm going to score this piece of cardstock straight down the middle, lengthways. Okay, so that's not too difficult. We'll do it with the other one as well. There's one of my hairs. So pop on and tell me if there's anything wrong with the sound or the vision. Can't do much about the colour today because, as I say, I've got the lights on and the blinds closed because of the sun coming in. But I think the sound's okay. We did have a problem with that a while ago, but I think that was my software resetting itself, which didn't help my volume. Okay, so we've got that. Now what we're going to do, and if you're using a Stampin' Up trimmer, the little measurement on the left-hand side there is actually 1.5 inches. So I'm going to position this little piece there, so it's 1.5 inches, and just mark with a pencil 1.5 inches each side down. I'll do it with the other one as well. Just there, one end, 1.5 down. Okay, so that's our 2 points where we're going to score. So from the corner to the 1.5 opposite, you're going to do a diagonal score. I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way. Okay, and then we rotate whatever degrees it is, 180, and then we're going to do from the opposite side to the corner. And there we are. So that's our little windmill that we talked about. So we'll do the same with the other one. Okay, so there's our second one. Move the trimmer for now. Don't need that for now. Now we're going to put our 2 little mechanisms flat on the table like that, and we're going to keep them, the left one on the left, the left one on the left and the right one on the right. This is really important. So don't move them from the left one and the right one. You can even put a little L and R on it if you feel that you need to. So on the right hand one, we're going to cut down the centre score to where all those scores intersect, and then making sure I do it right, out to the edge, following the diagonal again. Okay, so that's that. So it looks like a little house roof, like a slanty roof with a chimney. Look at it that way. So the chimney is on the left, or the slanty roof is on the right hand side one. On the left hand side, we're going to do it as a mirror image. So down to the centre where all the scores meet and out to the left hand side. Okay, so that's, get rid of those, we don't need those. So that is the mechanism cut. Okay, so as I say, very important, keep the right one on the right and the left one on the left. Okay, so I'll let you digest that for a second. What we then need to do is just score, or what's the word, burnish our scores. Make sure I burnish them the right way. That's not going to help if I do that, make things difficult. So you close them over and burnish it closed like that. Then you take this one, fold it to a right angle, and you burnish that there. As long as you burnish them some way, it's really not going to make a difference. And then burnish this one as well. Just as long as you've loosened up those joins so that they're a little bit more flexible. We'll do the same with the left-hand one. Burnish it. Have a bit of a practice. If you've got some scrap, I've got some sort of like construction cardstock that I use, some just white cheap stuff that I got from a supplier that I don't mind wasting too much. I just practice with that when I'm trying a new fold. Okay, so we've got all of those. It looks a bit like a crane, but anyway, so there's it is. So that's the right hand one, that's the left hand one. Let's bring our card base in, and then we're going to pop these on. Okay, so we've said this is the left hand one. It pops onto the left hand side of our card base. This is our right hand one, and it pops onto the right hand side of our card base. Keep them the right way. I'm going to grab some glue. Now don't go too overboard with the glue, I found. I've been having it squirting out like toothpaste the whole morning. So we're just putting the little bit that we said was the roof, the angled roof, we're just putting some glue on the back of that. So just on half, line it up with the right hand side, right one on the right hand side, line it up side and bottom so that it corresponds exactly. So it's all the same all the way. So it lines up exactly with your card base on the right hand side and on the bottom. There we go. So that's the right hand side. I'm hoping it's the right hand side for you. The video doesn't flip. Same thing on the left, just on that little angled part that we've cut, and line it up with the left hand side of the card. Now I want to plough through and do the whole card base for you, even though, and sort of get it out of your head so that you don't have to worry about it, and then bring in the bits to decorate. But once you've done a couple of these, you may find it easier to actually bring some of the centerpieces, some of the decoration pieces in and pop them in while the card opens up fully like that. I won't do that now because I want to get this completely done, and so you don't have to worry about it anymore, and then we can decorate it. But as I say, after you've done a couple, you may decide that this is a good time to start popping some of that internal decoration in. Okay, so what we do is close everything down, fold that over on both sides, right angles where we burnished it. We're going to pop a wee bit of glue just on that tiny little triangle that we've created on the left and the right. Tiny little triangle. We just pop some glue on there. Okay, I'll bring that a wee bit closer so you can see. You see that's that triangle that we formed when we cut. We've just got some tiny bit of glue on those. Fold them right down and you bring your card in. So it glues to those two, so that the card front or top glues to those two little tiny corners. And that, my friends, is the tricky bit of this card. Once you've done that, have a go. As I said, have a few goes. Grab some cheap old white cardstock that you might have lying around. Have a few goes. I'm just trying to find my rubber because I've got a bit of glue splodge on one corner. So forgive me while I'm looking furtively in the drawers for that. There we go. Tiny bit of glue smudge up here, which doesn't matter too much, but I don't want it to stick to things. Okay, so it is best if you give that a few seconds to take. Don't sort of go opening it too enthusiastically to start with. To be honest, I wouldn't go opening it too enthusiastically at all. Even the little one that I made the other day, if I get too carried away with it, it will come away from the corners. So don't force it past where it's happy to go. So I'm going to open this up a wee bit, and you can see there we've glued those tiny little triangles to the top of our card, which it forms a bit of a crease in there, and that's what makes the mechanism open. Okay, now those two little triangles should line up with the edges of the card top. If they don't, just trim them off. There's no great trauma. So as you can see, the thing opens and closes with those two little doors. Okay, what do you think of that? Do you reckon you could do that if you were if you had a bit of practice beforehand? I don't think it's too hard. As I say, once you've got those mechanisms done, you cut out the right bits. Make sure you strictly keep the left one on the left and the right one on the right and correspond to the card. You shouldn't get too wrapped up in it. Okay, so now that's the hard bit done. What do you reckon? Could you give it a go? I'd love to see it if you give it a go. Now we can do the decorating. So I'm going to bring in the panel that I cut for the inside. So it's as per the instructions, I think it's 3 7/8 by 4. So it's practically a square, but not quite. Slightly more narrow than it is high. And as you can see now, as I pop these in, you can see why I sort of said pop these things in before you get too far with the mechanism, but it's okay. It's not too bad. Pop that in now, and then we'll do the doors. So we'll do the doors next. I can suggest that we put the designer series paper on the doors first before we attach. Oh no, hang on, that's not going to work. No, rewind, Julianne. We'll just put the cardstock on the front. So I'm using the same cardstock as we used on the front of the card, or I'm going to use on the front of the card, on the front of the doors. That just carries the theme through. So this is the front of our doors. Then I'm going to use the same size, but the opposite, just the back, for the inside of the doors. And I'm not going to put that on yet, and in a second you'll see why. So that's the front of our doors. And then we're just going to attach our doors to those little rotating bits that make the card open and close that you just saw me fiddling with a second ago. So the doors, if we bring back our card base, our doors basically just pop on the front of that and the front of that. Now that makes it tricky to see. But anyway, you can see there I've got it on that little flap that was open there and that little flap that opens there. That's where our doors are going to go. So I'm just going to add some glue. I might add it to the actual flaps itself, just to the front of those two front door hinges. Well, they've really become hinges now, haven't they? Because they open and close the doors. And pop that door there. So line it up with the score and the bottom of the card. And I know that's really hard to see, but hopefully you've followed what I've said there. So there, that's attached, that side. And there's a wee bit extra glue there. Just get rid of that. Don't want the card to stick to itself. Okay, so that's the front right hand door. And then just add the same on the other side. Just a bit of glue on the other hinge. And then we'll bring the next door in. Again, lining it up with the score and the bottom of the card. You actually, when your card is on display, the doors, that's why you need to line them up properly with the bottom. The doors actually are what makes the card sit up. You can see there, that's the base of it, where it actually won't sit up if your doors aren't in line with the bottom. Now, if these are 2 inches wide, they should meet exactly in the middle there. You can see that there where I've done that. They fit exactly, they close exactly up tight to each other. Okay, awesome. Okay, one more thing, or a couple more things we need to do inside is we've got some strips. Now these are 5/8 of an inch by 4. As I said, don't worry too much about the measurements. I will pop them through onto the comments or into the description. There's a strip there. I'm going to pop it on the outside just to tidy it up a wee bit. And this is just another one of the Flight Airy patterns. You can see it's got some little blossoms and birds on the back of it, but it's just a tone-on-tone boho blue. And that just covers over that little triangle cutout that we've made when we cut out our little windmill mechanism at the beginning. We just pop those on there. That just covers that up, makes it look like a miracle card. How did you do that with all one piece? Now, we'll open it up a wee bit. We're going to pop the inside designer series paper. And as I said, I'm going to flip over and use the little birds just for the inside. And the reason I didn't put this on first was because I like to use it. It covers over that join between the mechanism and the front door. So it covers it over and it makes it look like, again, covers over that, most of that join. Oh, stay on there, you. Now, if you wanted to get really, really, really smart and clever, you could work out all those angles and you could put designer series paper all up in there as well. All up in there and up in there. But I'm not feeling that smart or clever today, so it's not going to happen. But as I say, if you felt like covering it completely with designer series paper, just go for it. But the angles, you'd have to fiddle with the angles to get them right with those triangles. And life's too short. You like to show a little bit of your cleverness. Okay, so that's the back, the inside of the doors there. Okay. While we've got our doors open, I'm going to bring in just one little bird, just on the inside to carry on the theme of the little birds from the outside. I just thought I'd pop one of my little fussy cut birds onto the inside just with some glue. The paper has lots and lots of little birds that you can fussy cut if you've got the time and patience. So many people have said to me they find fussy cutting relaxing. So, you know, I was very relaxed sitting out in the sun fussy cutting these guys. It's for a different project, but I just couldn't stop. Once I started, I couldn't stop. Just kept going. Here we are. little bird in there. Now, the sentiment I'm going to use on the inside is, well, on the outside, I'm going to use wishing you everything wonderful. And this is from the Charming Sentiments. Wishing you everything wonderful. And then inside, I'm going to put because you totally deserve it. So they're the two that I'm going to use. Inside's because you totally deserve it. Pop that on a block. And I'm going to use the boho blue ink. Oh, I'm glad you're going to give it a go, Elise. I'd love to see what you come up with. If you'd like to pop it on my page, it'd be so cool. And Glenda, you're going to give it a go too? Definitely. I'd love to see what you guys, I mean, you know I tend to go for the more simple, well, she says, having just made a fun fold, but I'm not a real over fussy decorator, so I'd love to see what you guys come up with the decoration. I've slapped on some designer series paper and some fussy cut birds, and I'm totally happy with that. So you totally deserve it. Closing it down, so we'll do the front now. Now, just on the front, I've popped a contrast colour, and I'm using Bubble Bath. So that's our first layer for the front. It's just a Bubble Bath layer. So I'll pop that on. I didn't layer, you'll notice I didn't layer the doors. I didn't put the contrast colour on the doors just because I thought then our designer series paper was getting too small. Would have reduced it by another, what, 1/4 inch. And you wouldn't have seen very much of it with that. But on the front, we're using a nice big piece of designer series paper. So I thought we can highlight it with a contrast colour. So we've got boho blue as the card base, Bubble Bath as the contrast colour. And then we'll bring in that beautiful boho blue based floral design. As we said, the same as we've done on the front of the doors. Pop that on there. To keep opening and closing it because I have got some glue in there, but I don't want to get the rubber in there because I don't want to ruin my mechanism. So until it dries properly, I have to make sure I open and close it so it doesn't set permanently. Here I have the largest circle from our Stylish Shapes and another little couple of lovebirds that I've cut from the designer series paper as well. So they're just going to sit on the front there. So as we mentioned, the sentiments is wishing you happy everything or everything wonderful. Be good if I could remember what the sentiment was. Yes, wishing you everything wonderful. Put that on my block again, boho blue. I'm going to pop it towards the top centre of my circle so that the little birds can be on there as well. So round about there on the top half. There we are, wishing you everything wonderful. Just going to glue that straight to our card front. As I say, nothing too fancy schmancy. I think the card talks for itself, doesn't it? Pop that on there, as centre and straight as I think it can be. Must have glue on my fingers. Where's my... Oh. This one's going to be a special birthday card. I can't have splodges on it. May have to be a bling cover-up. Okay, so our little birds are going to sit on here. I'll pop them on dimensionals because there's the stars of the show, really, aren't they? Pop some dimensionals on those. Big ones where I can. Small ones where I can't. watch. I love my watch. Tells me how inactive I've been during the day. But it does clash with my glass plate. So anyway, we'll take it off. This is a small one. I'm going to just chop that briefly just in half. Just for his little tail there where I can't fit a full one. And I'll use the other half over here. And then I'm just sticking to my old favourites iridescent jewels for the bling, because I just think it needs, I think it just adds some sparkle without being too over the top or taking too much of the attention away from the cute little birds. Come up a bit further. So cute. I love this paper. I can tell that I'm going to, every time I put a $90 order in, I get another bit of paper, another paper, another paper. I hope I get to use it all. You'll probably find it on sale in my retired listing after the end of it all, but yeah, at the moment I just can't get enough of it. Okay, so just as I say, some iridescent rhinestone gems. And we'll pop them around. One over that little splodge that I did. And one over the other side here with this little tail. There we are. Done. No ribbon. If Deb's watching, I didn't see Deb come on, no ribbon. Don't think it needs ribbon. Could probably pop some of the pretty bubble bath ribbon in there if you wanted to, but there we go. So there we are, wishing you everything wonderful with a wonderful card. So our gorgeous little lovebirds on the front. Open it up, as I say, be gentle before it's sort of totally set, or you'll end up having it come away. And we've got our Because You Totally Deserve It with another little bird there and some pretty floral doors. There we go. So I'm really happy with that, and hopefully you look at that and go, hey, that's not as bad as I thought. I could probably give that a go. I'll throw out the challenge. If Kay's watching, she said, was one of them that said she didn't think she could do it. Give it a bit of a go, Kay. See how you go. Yeah, I can't remember who was someone else who said they couldn't, but I reckon follow that instructions. The only thing that I said was really important, keep the right mechanism on the right and the left mechanism on the left, and don't get them mixed up, and make sure you keep them on the right sides of your card, because then you're going to get really, I only say that out of actual experience, because I did it and got really confused when I was first putting it together. I got the left on the right and the right on the left, and it was just too confusing. But keep them strictly to the left and the right, attach them to the left and the right, and you're done. It's not that difficult after that. Okay, so that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed that one. I really like that card. I think that may get a bit of a run with other designs and things once the Flight Airy obsession wears off. Okay, so that's our card today. Hope you enjoyed that one. SaleABration still happening. New catalogue is out. If you need a new catalogue, you haven't got a demonstrator, please let me know. I have some supplies here. I'm off and about on the 30th. We fly out of Hobart to Sydney, and then we cruise through to the 11th of February. So I will go live from the boat. If you keep an eye out, I'm going to, I haven't told my husband yet, but there is going to be some crafting happening on the cruise. There might be some just general hello videos as well, just to show you where we are and what we're doing. Yeah, I definitely thought I would take at least something that I can craft and go live, because 2 weeks without a live, I'd go mad. And I may record, if I have time next week, I may record some pre-recorded videos to pop up and show you while I'm away as well. Anyway, back on the 11th, back in the craft room on the 12th. And I say, if you're interested in the February fun fold, please, you can sign up. But as I say, I may not get to finish. Anyone who signs up now, I may not get to send you your kits before, but I'll definitely do them when I get back. Those are the 3 cards I should show you if I'm going to try and tempt you with it. That's our 3 cards there. We have a bee-themed cascading pleat, cascading pleat card. We've got a cool double Z fold there with the music theme, and this one, which I thought the bee card was fiddly. This one's actually even fiddlier than the bees. It opens up like that, and then opens up like that. And so that's the 3rd card. I don't know what you'd call that one. I don't know. Let's just call it a fun fold card. So that's the 3 cards for February fun fold. If you're in my VIP club or you've already RSVP'd and paid, you'll get yours before I go with the video and the PDF. Everyone else probably till I get back in mid-February. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you all. What day are we? Thursday. I'll probably see you all again on Saturday. Okay.